Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As I was about to title today's video, we have the patch notes that would fix NBA 2K24. So, we have been alluded to on Twitter by devs that there will be a patch incoming sometime in October this month. And I'm hopeful for these reasons listed in the video that we'll go one at a time on, that it is going to be somewhat soon. So, let's get straight into the video. I hope you all enjoy. If you do, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new to noties, all that good stuff, and like always, try to win to 2,000 likes. So first off, we have mandatory. These are ones that in my opinion, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They need to be in the game, no matter what your opinion is or anything like that. A lot of these can be opinionated. They can be, you know, a lot of kind of argument back and forth on stuff like this for biases toward one playstyle versus the other. But in my opinion, in a completely unbiased sense, I think anything in the mandatory category needs to be fixed in this patch 100%. And then would be nice is like, yeah, I could live without it being in the game as far as a patch, but it would be very good if it were. And please is more of like it's something that I think would be very convenient to a lot of people that maybe play like myself or also just in general, period. But you'll see that when we get to it eventually. Anyway, first off, we have mandatory Limitless Range rework. If you guys have not seen how Limitless Range is activating and working in today's game in 2K24, it's absolutely pitiful. It is terrible. Someone tested it with their shot meter size and showcased the difference between their shot meter from range, like super deep threes, obviously, right? Or even like more realistic sense even. And there's no impact on Limitless Range at all. Now, the 3-point rating that you get with builds like this may allow you to shoot from a little bit deeper than others, but limitless range shooting in general in 2K24 just does not work, period. It's a very limited aspect of the game right now. It's kind of a sad sight to see. It really forces a situation where defensive players can be really bailed out by how they guard screens because they can just go under every screen for the most part and really can sit low on the people that they're defending. It doesn't really make for realistic basketball at all, in my opinion. I mean, the way the game's played nowadays, it's very stretched out as far as the court goes by guys like Dame and obviously Curry. And when you have the three-pointer and the Limitless badge to match that, in my opinion, it actually should make some form of an impact. And right now, it's making zero impact at all. So, Limitless Range badge rework is a very necessary one, in my opinion, and also a very necessary one is going to be the right stick lane spam glitch. Now, if you guys have not heard about this one, it's a pretty toxic one. I was thinking about making a video on it, but we'll maybe get to that in a second, like, you know, maybe tomorrow's video or the day after that, something like that. But this right stick lane spam glitch, I pray for the sake of this game that this is going to get fixed pretty soon, because as it's currently constructed, if you're in man defense, and this goes for obviously like park because you just have to be, 3v3, anything like that, you have to be, and then for rec center, you even still have to be. So anything that's not 5v5 pro-am, this is a lane steal spam glitch that's really ruining the game. And for that matter too, in 5v5 pro-am, what's making it even worse sometimes is in these competitive games, the gentleman's thing, because of the way this is functioning right now, is to run zone. And some people are refusing to even still do that, and they're taking advantage of this, and it's making for a really toxic gaming environment, because if you don't know how this works, if you're in man defense and you just flick up, 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 up on your right stick. So let me get a controller to simulate this sound for you guys. It's literally doing this. You're just going straight up, 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 up. It's not going to force you to burn an adrenaline at all. You're going to constantly be in the lanes for the steal and never animate fully into it until the pass has actually been thrown to you. So that's why this is such a gigantic issue, and I've really hesitated to talk about this because it's a really toxic part of the game, and the less people that know about this, the better. That's just how it is. I know you guys don't like you know, YouTubers gatekeeping stuff like that or anything like that. I don't do much gatekeeping at all, to be honest with you guys. But with this right here, it's kind of mandatory that this has been. But again, I'll probably be dropping a video on this just to kind of display how stupid it is in its entirety. And it's on 2K to pass this 100%. And that's why I'm making this video. It's because I feel these types of things absolutely need to be addressed. So we're bringing this to the masses, you guys, so that you can be informed of this stuff and then putting the pressure on 2K to actually put the fix on stuff like this. Because at the end of the day, you guys are going to figure out a lot of this stuff for better or worse, and some of these it doesn't matter if you figure out about it or not, including the dunk meter size correlation. This is kind of one that can be taken advantage of if you know about it, but let's just get into this and explain it to you guys. So if you've stayed in the loop on the channel of just LakerFan period, you guys know about this 100%. So the way your standing dunk meter size is determined is based off your driving dunk rating. So if you have, let's say, a 25 driving dunk, but you have a 99 standing dunk, your standing dunk meter is minuscule. You can't even time it. It's impossible, nearly. Whereas if you have a 99 driving dunk, but only like, let's say a 40 standing dunk just to get the packages to even perform them, or a 45, or you know, something very minuscule to be able to get the contact dunk packages like 80. Your dunk meter size is going to be massive because it's tied to the driving dunk rating rather than the standing dunk. So again, this has been something that a lot of inside bigs are dealing with, or even stretch bigs for that matter, because a lot of you guys may have exactly what I'm talking about, that 80 standing dunk, and you want to maybe be able to do the standing dunk meters and, you know, put your skill to the test in that sense. But the problem is, if you have like a 65 driving dunk, even from a complete standstill point, it's based on your driving dunk rating, and the standing dunk meter has no influence at all. So that is a mandatory one in my opinion. It absolutely has to get fixed, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Not to mention, we have Precision Dunker rework. This badge literally is non-functional as we speak as well. I've posted videos about this on the channel. I've posted videos about this on Twitter, and long story short, this right here is a very big issue when it comes to the dunk meter in this game. So with Precision Dunker, in case you guys have not put this to the test yourself, or you haven't played in general, Precision Dunker makes 0 impact at all on your dunk meter size. And I know, as you can see, we have 2 in a row that are tied to the dunk meter correlation and whatnot, and you know, the Precision Dunker rework. But just know, the dunk meter is in a very weird and bad spot as we speak. The standing dunk meters are extremely usable, but it's only in the aspect that you actually have the driving dunk, and then Precision Dunker doesn't even work. So yeah, the major badges that we have as far as reworks are going to be Precision and Limitless. Simple as that. I don't think we have to talk too much more about the Precision Dunker. It's pretty self-explanatory that this is something that is going to need to be fixed, and I don't really have to explain more to you guys other than the fact that it doesn't work. It's about as simple as that. And then the last one that we have in mandatory is going to be interior defense does not affect dunk meter, or just in general, I am led to believe it also doesn't affect the tendency of even getting put into a dunk period. So if you haven't seen this is really alarming, like, things to see in terms of like clips and gameplay and stuff like that. I went for a contact dunk. I have another clip of that too. I probably could be posting these like, or letting you guys see the footage of this stuff as I'm talking over it. I might even edit them over it for the sake of the effort of the video. But for the interior defense, the dunk meter doesn't get affected by like that at all. So in the clip that I'm probably showing you right now, it's a 6'6" that has 25 interiority, 25 block, and 27 strength, yet I'm getting the most minuscule dunk meter size on him possible. Now, I've heard a lot of pushback on something like this on Twitter and wherever the case may be, of people saying he's in good position. You shouldn't force a dunk meter on him. You should be doing things like a floater and stuff like that. In the theory of this game and how it plays right now, I agree, but what's the point of a dunk rating at that point? Why am I possibly ever putting my dunk rating to a 97 for Hall of Fame Precision Dunker, every contact dunk package in the game, if I can't put a guy who has 25 interiority and 25 block sitting below the basket in the rim? It really may be the dumbest thing I've ever seen posted on the internet, period, by some people who have that opinion. That's my true opinion. That's why it's in mandatory, not just would be nice or please. I truly do feel that way, and you're out of your mind if you think that that's like acceptable for the game to be doing stuff like that, like letting someone with 25 interiority and 25 block hold their own in the paint on one of the most menacing slashing things you could possibly have on some LeBron James Giannis-esque type beat. And I don't even know if there's anybody in the game on 2K that has 25 interiority and 25 block. I'm not sure if there is, to be real with you. But anyway, moving along, we have Would Be Nice. Now, the reason I'm putting Unpluckable buff in Would Be Nice is I don't think it's mandatory. I think people can like work their way around this a little bit, and elite guards are starting to move really well in this game. Like at the beginning of the year, we saw a lot of people like really struggling to get buckets in the 5v5 setting, or even just, you know, rec, period, whatever. But I'm gonna talk about comp pro-am for the most part. We saw a lot of people struggling to get buckets because defense was so extremely overpowered, but they've already done a rework to the blinders, and they made it so shot contesting is a little bit harder just in general. And that's kind of led to a lot of guards just being really good at hitting opens or slightly contested shots, like a 6 and a 7 and an 8 and stuff like that, or even for that matter, they're hitting like 40s now and stuff like that too. So long story short, I think guards are okay as the game is currently functioning. I know you as a one single player may not be, but I'm just telling you right now, there are people absolutely working their way around the way that plucks are currently functioning right now. However, for the sake of gameplay balancing, I think it would be good to see a slight kind of nerf in a sense to the steals, or a buff to Unpluckable, and keep it about as simple as that. Now, the reason I do kind of hesitate to say Unpluckable buff is that I've seen people with like 85 post control and 92 post control really resisting those steals at a ridiculous rate. And it's not on the post ups, it's on literally just handling the ball with 40 ball handle, but they got 92 post control to get the gold Unpluckable. It's pretty alarming how well they can resist those plucks with that level of ball handle. Now, it's not like a crazy amount where like it's better than people who have 93 ball handle, but I'm just saying, it may be something where it's more of about like actually nerfing the pluck steals rather than to buff Unpluckable. I don't know. We'll see. I just wanted to say Unpluckable buff because I think a lot of people get triggered by seeing like nerf steals. I don't think they like seeing that unless it's something like this. The right stick's lane spam has to go. I am all for right stick steal being good in the game, but this right here is an absolutely like toxic way of like this gameplay feature being added. The fact that it burns no adrenaline and it like can just be spammed with no punishment at all until the pass is actually thrown your way is terrible, bro. It's absolutely horrible for the game. So anyway, last one we have right here for would be nice is bans for grayed outs / lag outs in private matchmaking for like 3v3 or 5v5 pro-am. Now I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've never seen a 3v3 private game get kicked out of or anything like that, but the way the grayed outs and lag outs currently work, it's pretty bad for the game. Like, I will say though, quit outs, I don't know how to feel about it because I guess for the sake of like, you know, wellness of life for the comp pro-am players, it would be nice to be able to quit out of games that you're getting completely blown out of while not having to be punished for like, you know, a 30-minute ban or like an hour-long ban or something like that. I do understand though, you really want to punish people for doing like stupid stuff like standing out of bounds for 18 possessions in a row and trolling someone in the rec, because it's absolutely terrible for gameplay environment when you're allowing people to get away with stuff like that and not have to just get off the game right away and they can just go and do it in the next game. Like, you want only one set of people to have to deal with that and not 4 consecutively in a row. You don't want to have to deal with those trolls like that in the rec. So I'm all for, you know, the opinionated like debate to be had like this in the comments when it comes to something like this, because this can be very debated 100%. But my personal opinion, you should at least take it away from the private matchmaking stuff. And whether they want to quit out and lose badge progress, I guess if they lose badge progress, they lose boosts and stuff like that, that's acceptable. You know, I'm sure 2K has their own agenda when it comes to the VC and the spending of boosts and stuff like that. They want to get their VC off the private matchmaking comp pro-am players and stuff too. They don't want those guys getting free passes. But at least make it so they don't get banned for 30 minutes to an hour. This is like making it a terrible experience for, you know, like let's say tournaments or even just running a series with someone for a playoff bracket or anything like that, or even just doing matchmaking with the boys, and now all of a sudden you have to have everybody wait 30 minutes to an hour for something as simple as their internet just cut out. Simple as that. So anyway, moving on to the last one that we have right here, we are going to have the please category, and this has 3 of them. So I'm asking for please allow Slithery to work on dunks. I don't really see why this is an only layup tied badge right now. I think it's pretty bad for the game. I don't think it makes any sense. I also would prefer, I didn't put it in this video, but I would prefer for them to look into the whole tiny dunk meter for like very like good takes in my opinion, but that comes to the whole like paint sitting like on the into your D sort of thing as well. For whatever reason, the game just establishes paint sitters as really good positioning on the defense in this game when it comes to the dunk meter, and I've even seen it for like the standing dunk meters. Anything else though, like a late dropper or something like that, or even someone who's like coming from that corner drop but they're in good position by the time they get to the dunk, they're in better position on that type of like action right there than they would be than just sitting paint. But the paint sitting seems to be just a mechanic that they reward in this game, and I don't think that's a good thing. Now, hey, I'm all for adding a floater to my game 100%. It's not hard, it looks extremely usable, and if that's what has to be done and dunk is just terrible in this game because contact dunks are garbage for the driving contacts, then so be it. I'm down to like pivot a little bit, but I do hurt my heart hurts a little bit for the people who wasted their VC on builds that are slasher related and now they have to pivot their playstyle, because anything more than a 65 dunk seems completely useless in this game, in my opinion, for the driving. Especially if they only fix this dunk meter size correlation, but don't fix the driving dunks as a whole. Because if that happens, the only reason you should ever have a high driving dunk in this game, in my opinion, is literally just to have a bigger standing dunk meter. But if they fix that and make it so that's tied to your standing dunk, then you may as well just have 65 driving dunk, bro. I'm going to be completely honest. And I will be doing that myself if that exact rework happens. But hey, like I said, 2K probably loves hearing that because that means I'm just spending more money myself as well. And a lot of other people will probably be included in that. So it's unfortunate, but I'm just speaking my truth right here. Anyway, moving along, we have missed green dunk frequency. So I've seen situations where it's not even a block. I know, yes, people are blocking greens, and that will happen. This is how it is, you know. It'll happen on layups, it'll happen on dunks. It's just period. I would prefer if that happened a little bit less, though. I think, like, if you green a dunk, it should reward you in a sense of being a little bit harder to stop, essentially, in my opinion. But either way, what's happening sometimes even is that nobody's getting a block, and you're just, in general, period, missing greens. It's pretty bad, bro. If this was happening at the same rate on jump shots, people would be so heated, it would be storming the Twitter streets and the comments and the subreddits and all that stuff. But since it's the dunking stuff, we're kind of just putting up with it. And I would appreciate it if they fixed the missed green dunk frequency. And again, it could still happen from time to time, but how much it's happening right now is a pretty alarming rate. And it's already so hard, bro. It's so hard to green dunk meters consistently on the paint sitters and stuff like that. I know a lot of people are commenting, they're like, I see gigantic meters when I'm going like straight off rec, right? You're like a corner spot up that just beat his guy, and now the other defenders like reacting to you late. That's the type of dunk you would hit every single time on an X button dunk, bro. I'm talking about ones that we're trying to increase our ability to actually make a contested contact dunk, but have to deal with the, obviously, punishment of having to time it at a very alarming rate. And when you green it and then miss it anyway, it's the most frustrating thing possible. But anyway, after that, the very final one we have is foul tendency, but with a question mark, because I don't know if I really passionately feel that way about it. But to be honest, when playing comp pro-am or just like fives in general, anything like that, it's very frustrating when you're playing nothing but the most perfect defense you could technically play on someone when they're going for a drive, or, you know, just in general. I guess maybe jump shots. The jump shots aren't as an alarming rate, to be honest with you, but I guess it does happen. In general, I will also say you shouldn't be jumping at a shooter in terms of like that being your best defense. I really do feel, obviously, you're going to have to play hands up to play like the best defense, and the jumps are a little bit too risky. In general, that's how it's always going to be, and that's how it should be, you know. But as far as the foul tendency on the driving stuff, bro, it's so terrible. And not to mention, I'm going to be real with you guys, in a perfect world in 2K, in my opinion, the foul tendency on reach-ins would be very low, and the success rate on steals would be lower, period. Because I really hate that people can just be rewarded for spamming and spamming and spamming every single time. Actually, matter of fact, let me show you a screenshot real quick of how a game ended against people that had 3 high steal builds on them. And they were lane spamming as well, for that matter, too. Take a look at this screenshot right here, bro. 9 fouls in a 3v3 game to our 0, because we're playing disciplined defense. We end up winning the game. I was just like killing them on the boards, simple as that. But like, my issue with this is it's 3v3. There's no free throws. The foul outs, the game's too short for you to foul out in like a very like manageable way or anything like that. It's still 5 fouls, bro. Like 5 fouls in a 3v3 game is hard to do. That's really hard to do. But these guys almost managed to do it with 2 people, bro. So 9 fouls. That's a little bit out of hand, in my opinion, as a team when it comes to pro-am. There has to be, or 3v3, I should say. There has to be some kind of punishment to something like this, or lower the foul out, like limit rate or anything like that. Whatever the case may be, because this is terrible for the game, in my opinion. It's way too much stoppage. It's really stupid, and the foul tendency amount is pretty crazy. But again, we're not really only just talking about that. I'm also really trying to talk about the driving aspect of this. And again, the whole reach-in one's a little bit of a touchy topic, because if you touch the reach-in foul tendency, you also have to take down the steal tendency, or like, you know, the frequency, I should say. Because obviously, if you take down the foul frequency, but you don't take down the steal frequency, it's just going to be an absolute piece of trash. Like, it's going to be people just spamming reach 24/7 because they just can. But if you punish people properly for it, whether it was just like a stun to their player on defense, or, you know, like to lower the foul out amount, or to just not let them get steals quite as often. And what I mean by that, by the way, is pretty much I just wish for people hitting their X button that nothing happened a little bit more than it does. I just wish it was not as much just constantly getting a reach-in or a steal. I would prefer if nothing happened sometimes, people actually got punished for doing stuff like that. And oh my god, I didn't put it in the video, but matter of fact, hold on. Let me go ahead and just go and put another thing right here. Bro, let's just type this one out. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Jump bumps have got to go. This is one of the worst features in the game, in my opinion. Like, when people just jump straight at you in the paint, and you're supposed to be getting punished for that by getting a foul, but you just get bumped, and it could be in the corner too, or it could be anywhere for that matter. People jumping is a bad defensive play, in my opinion. It's you in desperation asking for the game to help you and get a contest, and hopefully you don't even foul for that matter, but you're jumping out at them in desperation. And then not only does your desperation get answered because you would have contested it well, but you get a bump that's forcing them to not even move anywhere now, and now your stun rate of you like not being able to do anything as a defender is completely in their face because you just bumped them. So it's a terrible feature for anything in the game, in my opinion, for 5s, for 3s, for anything. There's also these like crazy body up collisions on pick and rolls where like if you're going down and like it should happen generally as well. Just let me make that very clear. But all these things added up together of like the constant bumps everywhere on these jump bumps or off-ball bumps and stuff like that, they need to get toned down or at least be punished properly, in my opinion. But anyway, that's all video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new to noties, all that good stuff. And like always, try to one to 2,000 likes. If you made it to the end of the video, put patch in the comments. Search parts my way through. Anyway, that's all for the vid. Hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully some of this stuff gets put into action pretty soon, and we will make videos on the type of news of it actually getting fixed if it does. So anyway, that's all for the video. And on that, take it easy, man. Peace.